15th Annual Young Women to Watch Awards. I am so happy to see everybody here tonight with us for our virtual event. And so many of you all joined us last year when we were in person at the National Museum of Women in the Arts. And I've been thinking about that night so much today, about how we sat across from each other, we hugged each other, we reveled in being in the presence of so many uplifting people. When all that changed, literally days after our celebration, we knew we would have to adapt everything about the way that Running Start does business. Because until last March, every program we did was in person. We had no virtual events at all. And this was a point of pride for us. But here we are tonight, a little bit more than a year later, and Running Start is stronger than it's ever been. Tonight is a triumphant celebration of creativity, of resilience, and really, like most of all, of the steadfast support from so many of you guys who are watching. So, okay, I want to bring you back to last March and tell you what things were like for Running Start. When COVID shut down the world, literally, as I said, a couple of days after our big event, we had already accepted 60 high school students from all across the country to take part in our in-person week-long training that was at the end of June. We had booked rooms at Georgetown University, we'd engaged speakers, we had offered scholarships. We spent that first week after the pandemic hit fielding calls from anxious parents and students. But the truth was we were really anxious and we thought that it was inevitable that we were going to have to cancel this program. I looked back at my notes last night to sort of see how we did it, and here's what I found. So by March 23rd, my team, led by Sarah Blanco, they had already started to pivot to embrace this new crazy reality. And this I found unbelievable. Okay, by April 1st, this program that we had been doing the same way since 2007 when we began it, in person, small groups of women, that we had been able to transform this program into a multi-week interactive virtual training. And this is all because I have such an amazing team. We ended up not with 60 students that we originally had, but with 80 students. They came from all around the country, and for the first time ever, they came from around the world, from as far away as Uzbekistan and Vietnam and India. And if you can just give that a little bit of thought, these students, their time switched. They had to go to our program in the middle of the night, but it was worth it, and they did it. And what was so great about the program this summer, our very first virtual event, it was that all of the magic that we see in this high school program and that the speakers and the participants and the staff feels in this program when we do it every summer, it was still there. These young women who were in their little quarantine pods all over the country and the world, they figured out how to bond with each other. They figured out how to connect. And that magic was all still there. We continued this pattern across all of our programs this past year. And it was so important that we did that and that we were able to do that. Because if you think about, what young people faced, they were so cut off from personal interaction. So many young people were facing such a void, but at Running Start, we were able to offer them a vibrant community of change makers just like them, who instead of being defeated by all of the incredibly terrible things that 2020 threw at them, they joined together to be part of the solution. So tonight at our show, you are going to meet many of our alums, and I know that you're going to understand immediately why we are so proud of them. These young women embody the very best kinds of leadership. They lead as who they are, not as who they think the world wants them to be. They are vulnerable and empathetic. They lead because they know their voices matter and that their communities need them. These young women are going to change the world for the better. In fact, as you're going to see tonight, many of them have already gotten started. So I know you're going to enjoy the show. I'm really anxious for you to get to it. And so I'm going to pass you off. We've got two wonderful MCs, and the first one is Rena Shaw. So Rena, take it away.
Thanks, Susanna. Hi, I'm Rena Shaw. I'm a political strategist, reformer, and commentator based here in Washington, D.C. I'm so pleased and proud to be a part of Running Start's family. as an alum, a supporter, and a passionate advocate for this work. I'm here tonight because I believe in women, particularly young women. And I'm also in politics for many years now. It's a tough business. It's not been easy, but I've made it this far because the young women I've met through the Running Start family, through this community, have inspired me to no end. So our theme tonight is Uncovered. Now, what that means to me is that we're pulling back the curtain, not just on the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of the many incredible young women in this network that you're going to meet tonight, but it also uncovers a stark reality, pulls back the curtain on that reality, which is that despite making up over half the population, we still do not have enough women at all levels of US government. We need a more representative democracy, one that reflects the diversity of the American people and brings the strength of young women to each policymaking table. Running Start's on a mission to change that reality, that stark reality of not enough women being at public policymaking tables. They're going to change it in our lifetimes, and I'm living proof that their work has real life impact. Tonight, we have a live audience of Running Start alums just like me joining us. Let's go check in on them.
Hi, my name is Reagan Crittenden, and I'm tuning in from Washington, D.C. I'm an alum of the high school program and the internship.
Hi, I'm Livia Toth. I'm tuning in from Huntington, Pennsylvania, and I'm an alum of the Elect Her program.
DC, and I am an alum from the Congressional Fellowship Program.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wilsar, and I am a digital media specialist. And like Rena said tonight, the theme is Uncovered. And to me, what uncovered means is to show up fully and wholly as Wilsar every single day. Whether it's on my way to the office, on a Zoom call, because we all know Zoom calls. Whether it's going to a photo shoot, because I'm a photographer, creating art, engaging with my beautiful Running Start family, or being here with you tonight, what you will get tonight is fully me uncovered in my full self. So tonight we will feature Congresswomen and alums like those those live in the audience who you just met. You will also hear from our alums who are finalists in a campaign-style competition that will end tonight when you vote to elect your favorite. So it's gonna be pretty great. The winner, hear me out though, the winner will serve as the Running Start's ambassador for the next year and will promote the hashtag I look like a politician, which embodies the idea that young women like you can and should, listen carefully, should run for office. Because man, we need y'all. And you should run as their authentic selves. To participate with us tonight, you can do it on social media. And please use, again, hashtag I look like a politician and tag Running Start. So now, let's go in the green room and check in with tonight's finalist. Come on, guys. Hi, guys.
Is Turi grateful to be part of the Running Start family. Running Start has trained over 20,000 alums in the past 15 years, which is an astounding number. I am one of those women. I have learned so much from Running Start, especially that I can do anything I set my mind to, especially if I've made my voice heard. I will run for political office because of Running Start.
Over the years, I've worn many different hats as a member of this incredible community here at Running Start. I've been a speaker, mentor, trainer, and even a campaign advisor for a simulation. I've also made friendships here across the political spectrum. And I found myself lifted and inspired by the many young women I've met through this engagement. They've been in high school, college, and young professional life. They've impressed me beyond words. They're women I've at one time called a mentee, and now I call them friends. I'm so proud of having called these women my friends now because they come from a range of places, political ideologies, backgrounds, and experiences. The reality is we all belong at the table in this country's government and politics, and we all subscribe to that. I love Running Start's mission so much that I brought my own sister to get involved with the community. But my friends love to rib and joke with me that now that I'm a mom of 2 preschool-age daughters, I'm already planning ways to get them excited about Running Start's alums who are going to be running in the 2022 elections. So I can't wait to see what happens when these young women bring their authentic, true selves to public office. This is the part of the community that I love. Running Start gets young women engaged in government and politics at a young age, and that's game-changing. Tonight, you'll hear from so many of those young women about how meaningful Running Start has been in their lives as well. I hope you'll also be inspired by their journeys like I have, and I hope you'll subscribe to the reality that we have to do better as a country. We have to get more women across the political spectrum into the political pipeline.
Like I said before, I am a Running Start alum, and I remember about 10 years ago when I met Susanna for the first time, and I was truly simply enamored by the program and its goals. You know, so in addition to highlighting alums tonight, in tonight's event, it serves as a fundraiser for the organization. And we are so excited to announce we are on track to raise a record amount of money. Okay, money, we love money, right? Money is a good thing. We hope that with the generosity of existing sponsors and donors, along with some contributions from tonight's audience, that we can hit our fundraising goal. And honestly, I feel really good right now, so it's gonna happen, like easy, because it's amazing. Donation information is on the screen below. So now let's go to some members of the Running Start staff to hear more about why and how Running Start does the work that it does.
Running Start inspires and trains young women to run for political office without regard for party or issue. We imbue young women with the confidence, capabilities, and connections to run and win. Because when women run, they win at the same rates as men. And yet, there aren't enough women running. Just 1 in 4 leaders in America is a woman. Running Start is pushing for political parity by empowering the next generation of women leaders to show up as their full, authentic selves, so that they don't feel pressure to cover parts of their identity. These women are using their stories as a source of strength to create change on issues that are important to them and to better their communities.
When a young woman might struggle with confidence, think they don't have what it takes, or worry that they don't know the right people, that's where Running Start comes in. We know that these are some of the biggest barriers to running for office that women face. So we tailor our trainings to tackle them. Participants discover that leadership skills can be learned. They realize that they have peers who are just as interested in running for office as they are. And critically, they meet role models who prove that people just like them can run and win. From all of this and more, they gain confidence. They get those skills from top politicos and experts who share lessons learned from their work in the field. And every program includes a campaign simulation where they can put their new tools to the test. This is how they learn capabilities. Not only do they make friends and meet new mentors during the program, but they can continue building their networks via Running Start's online communities. With these interactions, they make connections. Equipped with the confidence, capabilities, and connections that form the foundation of all Running Start programs, each alum is ready to take the political world by storm.
Running Start's high school program finds budding change makers, and in those crucial formative years, gives them the confidence to see themselves as leaders. Every summer, Our diverse cohorts learn everything from how to run for student government, how to engage with folks they may not fully agree with, and how to bring their most authentic selves to all situations. Most importantly, our young women form communities with mentors they identify with and peers who are similarly motivated. So when they do decide to run for public office, they have the allies and the skills to help them run, win, and lead.
The Elect Her program is a one-day training designed to show young women that they can be leaders in their campus and on their community and show up as their authentic selves. During the program, participants hear from local elected officials and student body leaders. After that, they participate in a campaign simulation where they give elevator pitch speeches to their fellow competitors, and then they choose one winner. And as a result of the program, the Elect Her alumni who run for office and win 90% of the time.
College women looking to enter the DC political scene can find their way via Running Start's Congressional Fellowship. Thanks to Walmart's $2 million sponsorship, fellows have worked in the offices of more than 80 women in Congress. And they have our support along the way, with a living stipend, travel to and from DC, free housing on Capitol Hill, and weekly mentoring sessions on how to run for office.
It goes without saying that this past year was hard. We're in the middle of a long overdue racial reckoning, tragically spurred by continued violence against Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Diversity, equity, and inclusion have always been key values at Running Start, but like with many organizations, there are things that we can do better. This past year, we worked with a professional consultant who assessed where Running Start can improve and facilitated discussions about how to get there, and we look forward to continuing this work. We're also in the middle of a global pandemic that has exacerbated many of these inequalities and cost countless lives and livelihoods. And it's totally changed the way Running Start works. Your support has meant that we could transition every program to be fully virtual. Plus, we've added new programs, events, and staff along the way. Tonight is a poignant bookend for Running Start because last year's Young Women to Watch Awards was the last time many of us saw each other in person. Running Start has had the courage to grapple with these complex problems that are intertwined yet distinct because we knew that you would be there with us along the way. So thank you.
Now, earlier, I alluded to the fact that I am living proof that Running Start's work has real-world impact. I'll tell you a little bit about that. 11 years ago, I became a Running Start alum. Within a year of attending my Running Start program, I decided to set out on my own and become a political consultant. I made that jump so quickly, in part because of my parents. They gave me the support and love that I needed to start my entrepreneurial journey. But the other big part of that was Running Start, making me believe that I could do it, showing me it was possible, believing in me. And I could always look back and know that I had a friend here in this group, women that believed that I could realize my dream of working for myself. Now in business 10 years for myself, I get goosebumps when I think of how many times I've had to draw inspiration from this community to stay strong and to take this journey. It's not been easy, but it's been worth it. And I'm here because I want to pay it forward. It gives me immense pride to now be a financial supporter of Running Start. It is one of those things that we have to make a calculation about in this tough year, about what we want to put our time, effort, and money behind. But the work here will change the life of a young woman, just like it changed mine. I hope you'll join me in becoming part of this community. So now, let's hear more from Carly Madsen, a member of the Running Start staff, about the campaign competition that tonight centers around.
Every year, Running Start celebrates the Young Women to Watch Awards by highlighting our incredible alums. This year, dozens of alums entered the Run with Running Start competition in hopes of becoming our 2021 I Look Like a Politician ambassador. You are about to meet the top 4 finalists who will compete for your votes tonight as you hear about their experiences embracing their whole selves while on their path to politics. Special thanks to Kelly Gibson for mentoring these finalists, and congratulations to all of our alums who exemplify the phrase, I look like a politician.
We were blown away by all the amazing submissions from all of the candidates. It is with such honor and difficulty that we had to pick the final applicants. we introduce to you the final candidates for Running Start's 15th annual Young Women to Watch Awards.
It is my honor to introduce Tarina Ahuja, a Punjabi Sikh woman born in Chicago and raised in Virginia and a freshman at Harvard University. Tarina cares deeply about empathy and politics, and as the daughter of immigrants, is passionate about immigration reform, criminal justice, and intersectional advocacy. Tarina is Running Start's 2018 high school program's class representative and a former intern for Running Start. Tarina is also the co-founder and executive director of Young Khalsa Girls and the co-founder and president of the Greater Good Initiative.
As a talkative little girl with long black hair that I keep as a symbol of my faith, I stuck out. Being called a terrorist in first grade and years later witnessing a shooting at a Sikh Gurdwara, I saw an erosion of empathy. And when I started talking about empathy in politics, I was told to leave it to the men. Told that my faith, gender, and color mean that I would never win an election. But you see, those people that had questioned my worth came from backgrounds where prejudice is normal. So I seek to change what's normal by channeling empathy to transform injustice into equity. Running Start showed me that my empathy is not a weakness, but makes me so very strong. And with today's collective narratives of pain, I am sure that empathy is our greatest superpower. So I stand here, still talkative, with a belief in the power of radical empathy, asking for your vote to be Running Start's next ambassador.
Thank you so much to Heron So and Tarina Ahuja. Like Tarina said, empathy is our greatest superpower. Empathy is the makeup of our humanity. It grounds us, and empathy belongs in politics. So you know what? Let's see if we can actually connect with Tarina in the green room. Yes, there's a green room, guys. Tarina. So Tarina, hi Tarina. So how does it feel to share your story with such a broad audience tonight?
Oh my gosh, it feels so wonderful and so circular because I remember meeting both of you at my high school program. And so seeing you here and being here with you is just the honor of a lifetime.
Well, you're incredible. Thank you very much. And I have to say this because I can't stop. I'm an artist. I love your earrings.
Oh, thank you so much. They're Punjabi. So it's a little symbol of my culture.
I love it. And thank you for showing up tonight at your full self, uncovered.
Of course.
We want to thank our major sponsors for the night: Walmart, Duke Energy, Facebook, and the Embassy of the United Arab Emirates, along with our other corporate sponsors whose logos you will see throughout the night. And thank you, big thank you to our individual host committee members and those of you who contributed tonight. And now, let's hear a message from alum Uzoma Elikwachi about Duke Energy.
I want to start by thanking Duke Energy for sponsoring Running Start and giving girls like me the opportunity to follow their dreams. When I came to Running Start, I was a 15-year-old who didn't know her place in life and didn't know what she wanted to do. Running Start helped me to have the confidence to follow my interests and to reach for goals no matter what challenges I face. Running Start also taught me how to stand and deliver. There's no crowd I will stand in front of and be lost or coward. Running Start has helped me to have the confidence to pursue things like going abroad to teach English in Vietnam, to giving speeches about female empowerment, about human trafficking, about real events that are happening in the world. I would not be where I am today without Running Start. Thank you again to Duke Energy and to Running Start for giving girls like me the inspiration to achieve.
This year, Running Start is proudly honoring the 27 new women in Congress and congratulating the record 142 total women in Congress. Leading up to the Young Women to Watch Awards, Running Start hosted 3 different congressional salons featuring new, current, and retired Congresswomen. It was so incredible to hear their insight and their experiences. So incredible to hear from leaders of the past and today, hopefully to guide our future leaders. in just the way we want. You can watch them in their entirety at the links below. Some common themes emerge from those salons: authenticity, self-care, and what it's really like to run for office. Here are some of our favorite thoughts from the salons on authenticity.
To celebrate the accomplishments of women political leaders, Running Start hosted several congressional salons with new, returning, and former members of Congress. Thank you to Congresswomen Michelle Fischbach, Suzanne Bonamici, Ileana Rose-Leitner, Donna Edwards, Martha Roby, Marinette Miller-Meeks, Lauren Underwood, Connie Morella, Sarah Jacobs, and Beth Van Dyne for joining us and speaking about the importance of running for office. And congratulations to the new women members of the 117th Congress, who showed us that anyone can run for office and win. I was particularly moved by Congresswoman Donna Edwards telling her story of how she decided to run for office. She asked herself in the mirror to run, and she said yes. You can watch all the congressional salons on Running Start's YouTube and Facebook to learn from these incredible women.
When I think about authenticity, I mean, first of all, I think authenticity is the number one thing voters are looking for right now. I think so often we have this image of like the politician, but really what voters want is someone they can relate to, that they feel is being authentic and genuine and they can trust. And I actually give a lot of credit to the generations of women who came before us who weren't allowed to do that, who had to be perfect. And in being perfect, often then we're seen as cold or uninviting. But because of the barriers they broke, I feel like our generation of women does get to be a little bit freer in how we engage with people. And I've had some tough races in my life where people say pretty horrible things. And the easiest thing to do is like go back inside and shield yourself. And it's a constant struggle actually to maintain openness and continue being out there and being as authentic as you can be, even knowing that those jabs and those barbs are going to come. But I actually think that's the most important thing you can do as a candidate.
Your authentic self is so important. And although I've never met Congresswoman Marie Newman, it's the first time I see her, we have something in common because I have a transgender son. I wanted him to live his authentic life because people have to be who they are. And I know that Marie Newman, Congresswoman Newman, has a similar situation. It's not an easy path to live your authentic life and to be your authentic self. But it's so liberating to say, this is who I am, and to be able, we live in this wonderful country where we're able to live our true lives. And so, Marie, I hope to meet you one day and and share that feeling of how important it is to live an authentic life. I couldn't live an inauthentic life. It's not in my DNA, and I wouldn't want my son, Rodrigo, to do that either. Thank you.
Ditto what Donna said, but just you hit on the most important word, and that's authentic. Don't change who you are, whether that's in public service or in the classroom, wherever you may be in your life right now. Be who you are. You have so much to offer. Don't go change or try to mold yourself because you think that's the way you're supposed to be for a certain role. Just be who you are, and people will gravitate towards that authenticity that you bring.
I recall about 10 years ago, I think I said earlier, that I met Susanna, and it was in a Nicosul conference, and she was just this dynamic woman to me, and she was fully herself. It felt like she was being fully herself. And so after the workshop, I walked up to her and said, "Hi, my name is Wilsar. I'm gonna apply for Running Start. I'm gonna get in." This was for the Congressional Fellowship. And I didn't know her from here to tomorrow, and she didn't know who I was, but she was so open and welcoming. And I share this story with you tonight because it showed me that by showing up as fully me, uncovered, authentic, it allowed her to get to know me the first time. It allowed her to enter my world, and now we've built this beautiful relationship together. And I use that as a Congressional Fellowship participant. I used that guidance on the Hill when I worked there for about 10 years. I showed up every single day thinking I had to wear the uniform. But then as I came to my classes with Running Start on Fridays, it was reinforced to me that my true authentic self is my biggest strength, and still is. And till this day, I stand right here, y'all. This is me, full self, authentic, and I have not changed who I am. And because of that, I have been able to create this career for myself where I don't have to pretend. It's so easy. I can just be myself. So always, always stick to who you are, because who you are is so incredible and so necessary every single day. Okay, so here is Chloe Robler with Some Women in Politics, first from 2021.
This evening, we celebrate a tremendous year for women in politics. We reflect on the life and legacy of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the second woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court. Young Kim and Michelle Steele became the first Korean-American Republican woman to be elected to Congress, and Sarah McBride became the first openly transgender woman to serve in any state legislature. Yvette Harrell became the first Republican Native American woman to serve in Congress, and Deb Haaland became the first Native American person to serve in a presidential cabinet. Vice President Kamala Harris showed everyone that women have the strength, courage, and determination to run for and win the second highest office in our country. We celebrate these trailblazers and look to our alums as they have many firsts ahead of them.
I love it when women make history. It's so important to be a first because representation matters. You never know who's watching. You never know who you're going to inspire. And so let's go try to get the unattainable, seemingly unattainable. If you know of any additional women in politics firsts, drop those in the chat. We'd love to hear them. We also can't wait for you to meet our second finalist tonight. So here's Asna Ashfaq introducing finalist Gianna Covarelli.
I have the honor of introducing Gianna Covarelli. She was most recently part of the Running Start High School program. She's currently at Texas Women's University studying political science and social work. As a second-generation American and first-generation college student, she believes strength and unity is found in empowering the quietest of voices.
Good evening, Running Start. I'm Gianna Covarelli, and today I stand before you, the Texas delegate in No Labels Youth Congress. I, a domestic abuse survivor and daughter of a low-income, single mother household. Because a year ago, I took a chance, but I took a chance on myself. And every step since then has paid off. Because I've accomplished things I would never have tried, like being campaign manager in Running Start's Senate election simulation, and joining 3 committees, including NLYC's steering committee, to lay the groundwork for the inaugural session that I'm a member of today. Echoing the words of the philosopher Schopenhauer, it is the greatest folly to sacrifice the inner self for the outer man. So from a young girl who'd been trapped in darkness, rose a strong, identity-driven woman who now fights for the rights and the voices of others. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much, Asna and Gianna. I truly appreciate Gianna's story because through darkness, you can find some light. Through darkness, there's some healing. And I'm glad to see that she had the opportunity to find the light. So now, actually, I'm curious. I want to meet her, don't you? Let's check in the green room to see Gianna live. Gianna, hi.
Hello.
How are you doing? How's it feel to share your story in this big stage? Everyone's watching, by the way. No pressure.
First of all, I'm great. I am so glad to be here. I've been under the weather the last couple of days, so I'm very glad to be on this call with y'all. And it feels absolutely amazing to hear and be able to share my story because it's something that I've just been told so often that isn't worth sharing and has no right really to be heard. Yeah. And that's what beauty of Running Start is we just want everyone to succeed and for them to be heard.
Well, I am so grateful. I'm sure everyone else here tonight is so grateful to hear your story, because your stories really take you places. So thank you so much for being here tonight, and good luck, girl.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you, Gianna. That was truly inspirational. And I also feel that through darkness comes so much light. And the light on the truth these days is that we need more young women's voices in politics and government. And Running Start's work helps them get there. You've heard it so far tonight. Let's hear from another alum of ours, AP Velasco. She'll tell us more about Facebook sponsorship.
For tonight's ceremony, we would like to thank Facebook for not only supporting the women here tonight, but the women that will come afterwards. Running Start is the catalyst of tomorrow's change. With guidance, training, and constant support, women like myself will get what they need to learn how to run for office. Because of Running Start, my love for public service flourished, and this was evident in the work I did for Dr. Jill Biden during the Biden for President campaign, as well as being the youngest member of the We Lead cohort out of American University. So to all of the women here tonight, best of luck. And for those of you who will come after, I have 3 pieces of advice for you. Go, run, and win.
I love it. Go, run, and win. I wish you guys were all here tonight so I can repeat that and you can repeat after me, but it's okay. We're here. I can feel you saying it after me. So thank you so much to AP for those beautiful, inspirational words. It was just perfect. And in addition to having the tenacity to go and run and win, what did I say? Win. Women in politics need to care for themselves, y'all, in a way that lets them keep serving. Because why? You cannot pour from an empty cup. Okay, I've tried. You don't do that. It's not good. So we heard from several Congresswomen on this topic of self-care at the salons. Here are some more of them sharing some tips on how to recharge. We all need it. Trust me.
Don't take yourself too seriously. Really. It's a very stressful job. There's a lot of stuff coming at you. And I was in the Minnesota Senate before. Lots of stuff coming at you. But you know what? If you can't laugh at yourself and have, and smile at everybody, then you should be in this business, because that's important. It's for your sanity. Yeah. You got to be able, because you just got to be able to kick back.
I think so often women take everybody else's feelings and time into account. They want to care for other people and they forget to do it for themselves. And then you end up run down, exhausted, and you are not nearly as good for anybody else if you're not taking care of yourself. So that advice that you get when you come onto a plane, when the mask drops, put yours on first before you can help anybody else. Make sure you're actually doing it, because so often than not, we just don't prioritize ourselves, our health, our needs, our emotional needs, our rest. You need to do that.
I would say one of the things that I've done throughout my career is that whether I was a nurse or I was volunteering or as a doctor, when patients would send me a little note, and I would save those little notes and I would keep them in my purse or in my wallet. And if I was having a down day or a day where I didn't feel confident, I didn't feel like I knew anything, that I was feeling insecure, I would pull out that little note and I would read it. And so I save all these little notes. I still have them, but have something that for you is how you re-energize, how you center yourself. Because there are going to be days that are glorious and there are going to be days when you're really down in the dump. And the most important thing is that no matter how bumpy the road is, don't blame the road, get back on the bike.
Those were incredible messages of self-care. There's no overstating the need to take care of yourself. Especially, speaking of sanity, this past year we've been living in what may feel like to some a virtual insanity. So for me, I like to unplug. That's the way I deal. That's the way I take rest. I realized early on, in this pandemic, but early on in my career as well, many, many years ago, that I didn't have to be plugged up all the time, that being productive and bucketing my time could be done when I decided I didn't need to be on all the time. So I encourage you, maybe find some time to unplug with friends, family, or even just some time to yourself. I love those tips from those Congresswomen. Now let's go to another favorite, one which you may not guess is my favorite, because she's on the other side of the aisle than me. That doesn't mean I can't embrace all the good that she brings and admire her for what she's accomplished. Congresswoman Lauren Underwood from Illinois is somebody that I look up to. She's the first woman, the first millennial, and first Black person to represent her district in Congress. She's also a nurse, and last year I was privileged to hear from her about her thoughts on foreign policy in a small virtual circle. She impressed me so much, and though we may have some policy differences, I could look at her and see in her how much she wanted to change our country for the better. Women will make this country better. Young women deserve our investment, and that's where Running Start comes in. Now, the greatest thing about Congresswoman Lauren Underwood is also that she's a Running Start alum. She's been so generous in coming back to Running Start to train the next generation of women political leaders. And she sent us this message for tonight. Let's take a listen.
Hi, Running Start. It's Congresswoman Lauren Underwood from the Illinois 14th District. I am so excited to be with you for this year's Young Women to Watch Award ceremony. I'd first like to thank all of the incredible leaders on the Running Start board. You all have done extraordinary work during exceptionally difficult times. And yet here we are once again, recognizing the incredible leadership of young women across this country. I decided to run for office because of healthcare and a promise that my congressman made around protecting healthcare for people like me with pre-existing conditions. You may come to this work, you may decide to run for office for a different but equally important reason. Whatever brings you here, I want you to have the confidence to see it the way through, because guess what? Our country needs your leadership. And during these really challenging times, this is when our voices are so strong and so powerful to bring change and make a difference. So I'm grateful to have resources like Running Start. I'm an alum, and I am grateful for this incredible network of women supporting the visionary leadership all across the country, particularly of other young women like me who stepped up and run for office. I look forward to supporting your campaigns and serving with you, hopefully in the Congress one day. And until then, take good care of yourselves, everybody. Bye-bye.
Oh my God, guys, doesn't Congresswoman Underwood just have the greatest vivacious energy and message? I had the privilege and the honor of working close with her when I served in the Congressional Black Caucus as a digital director. And what you see on camera is not even enough of what you get in real life. She works hard, she gets the job done, and she does it with such grace. And so I'm just a big fan. And she's the first Black woman. It's like, yeah, y'all, we out here. And in the spirit of celebrating our alums who are living out our mission and running for office, what I say? Running for office. Let's go to the live audience and hear from some of our alum. Hey, y'all.
Hi, my name is Rana Abdelhamid. I'm from Queens, New York. I'm a Running Start High School and Elect Her Program alum, a community organizer, and a nonprofit founder. And I'm so, so proud to be here today to share that I'm running for Congress in New York District 12.
That was truly exciting. An announcement to run? That's like the icing on the cake for me. Congratulations on your decision. So, these brave alums, the ones who are putting their names on the ballot, yeah, look out for them. They're the leaders of tomorrow. I'm so proud of them, and I hope that all of you will continue to watch these incredible women as they take their political journeys. Now, let's meet our third finalist this evening, Imani Ross, who's going to be introduced to us by Mona Galbi.
Imani Ross is a Philly-raised, Atlanta-based style coach and author. She is a graduate of George Washington University, where she became the first Black chair of the Student Life Committee. Her values of advocacy and accessibility have driven her to champion a range of initiatives, including creating the first woman of color living and learning community, the conceptualization of the first Black caucus in student government, and most notably, her work in creating anti-racist policies in collaboration with President LeBlanc. Good luck, Imani.
I was in college, I assumed I was going to be in politics. I majored in political science and was in pursuit of my master's in political management. You would think I'd be on the Hill by now. But that's the amazing thing about leadership that Running Start has taught me. There's no one way to be a leader. For me, being a leader is all about amplifying voices, speaking up for yourself, speaking up for others, because when you do, you change the world. Thanks to Running Start, I learned that politics was for me, just not the way everybody thinks of it. Through speaking up, I empower women to own their style and own their leadership as a style coach. In my 9-to-5, I help build inclusive work culture backed by behavioral science. And now, as your future ambassador, I get to speak up for young women who are looking to change the world in politics. So my question to you is, who are you going to speak up for?
Oh, thank you so much, Tamona and Imani. And what an incredible young lady she is. You know, she's right. Leadership looks so different across the board. So it's up to you to figure out what that looks like for you. So I'm curious. Are you curious? Because I'm curious to meet her. Let's go. So let's go to the green room. Hi, Imani.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I am well. So how does it feel to be here? It's here. Today's the day. We're competing and you're sharing your story. What's happening right now to you? What's going on? Share.
Honestly, I'm just so elated and honestly blessed to be around such amazing young and hearing this has been just so inspiring to me. Everyone here is just so powerful. Win or lose, every woman you're hearing from today is powerful and inspiring.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time and to be so brave to put your name in the list and to run and to be a finalist and to be here. And you're truly an incredible woman. So good luck. You don't need it though. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Well, Imani, it was great to hear from you. You know, incredible women like Imani, they're all around us. They sometimes just need that pull up. And so that's why Running Start's here. And I'm so glad to have met so many women just like her through this incredible network. Again, I hope you'll feel encouraged and inspired to be a part of us. Join us. Now you'll hear from another inspiring alum, Angel Wadibia. Angel's going to tell us about the Embassy of the UAE's sponsorship.
Thank you so much to the United Arab Emirates Embassy for sponsoring Running Start. As an alum of the high school program, I can confidently say that I would not be where I am today without the help of the program. During my time at the high school program, I learned to recognize the power in my own story. And by continuing to sponsor Running Start, I am confident that we can ensure that thousands of women across the country can recognize the power in their own.
Recognizing one's own power and deciding to do something like a run for office frequently go hand in hand. It's not an easy choice, but it's an intentional and necessary choice. And we know we need more women running for office if we're going to reach political parity. And Lord knows we need it now, yesterday and last year. And so making the choice to run can be challenging. It's scary, y'all, to be out there and say, hey, look at me, I care, choose me. So let's hear what the Congresswomen from our salons have to say about the importance of running for office.
It's such an honor to serve and to serve with so many women, but we really do need diverse voices here. It makes a difference to have those diverse voices around the table. And women, like Michelle was saying, women come to solve problems. We're not really here because we want the position or the power. We want to get stuff done, and we do.
When I was in my first campaign, which I lost, by the way, and always try again, listen to your mom. In my first campaign, I will remember it was about 3 months in and we didn't have any money left. So I just decided that I would walk 10,000 doors. That far in, I was about 6,000 doors in. And this woman at the door introduced me to a donor group and gave me a little bit of money to go the rest of the way. So hang in there.
I spent about 6 months going around my district trying to convince other people who already held elective office to run to challenge the guy that I ended up beating. And no one would do it because they all thought he had this big machine, he couldn't possibly be beaten, they didn't know how to raise the money. And I got really frustrated with that. And so on Good Friday, that morning, I knew that the Board of Elections office closed at noon on Good Friday. And I got up in the morning, I looked in the mirror, and I literally talked to myself. And I said, Donna, why don't you run? My self-talk back to me and said, yes, you should do that. So I drove to Annapolis, filled out a couple of pieces of paper, wrote a check for $100 because that's all it cost. And I became a candidate for Congress. And I went through the entire weekend, Easter Sunday, church, dinner at my mom's house, told no one. And then on Monday, I realized that, well, whether I told them or not, people would, find out. And so then I decided I really had to start telling people and became a candidate for office. And so again, another piece of advice, don't wait, don't wait for somebody to ask you, ask yourself.
No guts, no glory. That if you don't succeed at something, continue to pursue it because you will have gained along the way. You will have gained supporters and knowledge, and you can continue to persevere. I look at former members of the former presidents. How many of them have run and lost and run again? And we've forgotten that they ever lost. And more women need to do that, is to keep trying. As I say, no guts, no glory.
You heard Congresswoman Morella, no guts, no glory. I'm so proud to know her and to call Congresswoman Donna Edwards a friend. We've been appearing together on a PBS all-women show for the past few years. These relationships with women like these, they're so important in my life. They've kept me optimistic in politics when things don't feel so great. The reality is, women like them, they show us that they can persevere and we can take our power and use that power for good. Let's continue to do that. Let's walk into our power in this coming year. Now, let's take a look at our live audience. We're going to hear a couple folks out there. Hey there.
Kaylee, go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Kaylee Galloway, and I am tuning in today from Bellingham, Washington. I am a proud Running Start alum, having participated in their high school program, elector trainings, and the Congressional Fellowship. Today, I am honored to join my Running Start family and announce my candidacy for Whatcom County Council District 1. If elected, I will be the youngest person to serve on council. Thank you, Running Start, for equipping me with the knowledge, skills, and confidence to run for office.
And hi, I'm Avery Bourne, coming at you live from the Illinois State Capitol. I am an alum of the Congressional Fellowship and am in my 4th term as a state representative in Illinois.
Now, our current ambassador, Yolian Ogbu, is going to talk about her experience over the past year. I hope you'll enjoy taking a listen.
My experience with Running Start as ambassador this year was obviously something that was very unexpected. Of course, no one kind of knew what was to come of the country and the lockdown and the pandemic. But regardless, Running Start had made my experience as an ambassador an amazing one, even though it was virtual. From giving a speech to high school students during the high school program and really getting to connect with these amazing young women and girls, to even creating a media interview series with several prominent women, whether they are organizers, congresswomen themselves, and just prominent leaders in several different industries. We really got the chance to showcase what it means to be a part of the Running Start network. So that's something that I have been really grateful to be a part of and experience as a Running Start ambassador.
Thank you so much, Ellen. You are incredible, and I'm so happy that you won last year. So now let's meet the fourth finalist for this year's ambassador competition. Here is Kat Lanigan introducing the finalist, Mia Sato.
Mia Sato is a high school senior from Minnetonka, Minnesota. While attending Running Start's high school program in the summer of 2020, Mia gained confidence in their campaigning and organizing abilities, as well as invaluable connections. It is that confidence and those connections that Mia holds close to her as she cultivates spaces of diversity and solidarity at her school and around the globe by mobilizing youth voters in Minnetonka and amplifying Asian voices on global platforms. Introducing Mia Sato.
My mother always told me that I was American, and honestly at the time I didn't know what that meant besides that I had a passport that read United States of America. But around 9th grade I started to actively realize that the America my mom talked about didn't reflect the world that I lived in. And we're not taught about our belonging and our history, instead reduced to our suffering and are shrouded in ideas of who we will never be. Yet that erasure couldn't hide the fact that women have always carved out who we were meant to be. Through the panels, webinars, conversations, and presentations during my time at Running Start, I saw an entire world of excellence built by women for women in diverse manifestations. To uncover our leadership, we must know who we are. And I'm consistently reminded throughout the workshops that consciousness is power. Consciousness is education and knowledge, and Running Start guided us in figuring out our goals, how to get there, and what it is that we're fighting against to further our growth. And we must continue to learn, and through that reflect in reality that we are power, we are strength, we are vulnerability, and we're here to continue the work that women before us and women here with us are making, because tomorrow is our world to build.
That was Kat Lanigan and Mia Sato that you heard from. So let's head over to the green room and hear from Mia. Hi, Mia.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, doing just great. And I'm so glad you're here with us tonight. It's great to see you and have you be a part of all this. I want to ask you, what's it like to be a high school competing in this competition? Your peers, like you all are wise beyond your years. I just cannot even believe how much younger than me you are. No, but really, I really strongly admire that talk of vulnerability and being hopeful for tomorrow. Can you tell us a little bit about how you feel about being here again tonight?
Yeah, I think that part of it is really just understanding that everybody else just feels probably as lost as you do. So I think that that makes me feel less alone. And part of being vulnerable is to really realize that this is important work that we're doing. This is very centered around people. And I think that being able to humanize politics again is one of the main things that I strive to do, at least.
Thank you for that. Good luck tonight. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm
Incredible.
sorry. I'm just like taken aback by Mia. Like, whoo, she's young and she's wise and humanizing politics. And yes, let's bring more humanity into this work that we do, because we work for humans. So thank you so much again to Mia. Now you have met all of our finalists. And I'm biased because I think they were all incredible. So, with all of them. Tarina, Gianna, Imani, and Mia, it's time to vote. I did my Oprah voice. Everyone gets to vote. So, if you RSVP'd for tonight's show on Eventbrite, We will text you a link to vote, so check your phones. If you didn't RSVP, why didn't you RSVP? You know what? Nah, man, that's a different conversation. Use the link on the screen to navigate to the voting page on OPA Vote website. When you get there, you will rank the alums you heard from tonight with your favorite on top. That way, even if your first choice doesn't win, you will have ranked the contestants in order, and we can take your second choice into account. So please vote just one time, people, one time. And while you vote, let's hear from Laura Segrist from Walmart, tonight's largest sponsor and a longtime supporter of the Congressional Fellowship, which I can say I'm proudly an alum.
At Walmart, we know that diversity is our strength. We believe we're stronger as a company and a country when people are included, heard, and empowered. Our founder, Sam Walton, used to say, "Someone believes in themselves, it's amazing what they can accomplish." And that theme of empowerment is why Walmart is a sponsor of tonight's Young Women to Watch Award, and why we're a sponsor of the Running Start Walmart Congressional Fellowship Program. The fellowship program has had tremendous success to date, and in the past 12 plus years, they've placed over 145 young women in congressional offices, with more fellows expected in DC later this fall. I want to thank the Running Start staff and all of the alumni for their tireless work in recruiting future leaders of our country and providing them with the tools and the confidence they need to succeed. And to all of the young women tonight, good luck.
The Walmart Congressional Fellowship empowered me to be confident about my unique voice, identity, and experiences. One thing that I took away was being proactive in reaching out to my network and taking on full leadership positions, knowing that I'm fully supported and uplifted by women who want to see me succeed.
The Congressional Fellowship increased my connections by introducing me to amazing people during our Friday sessions. Along with this, access to the Running Start network that I still use to connect with alums and other women in my career.
It was so great to see a few familiar faces right there. I've really enjoyed speaking to previous cohorts of the Congressional Fellowship in the past. On Fridays, I'd come to the Running Start office, and more recently, virtually, to speak to them about various things in my career. And it was such an honor and a joy to hear from those women what was important to them. So I want to thank Laura Segrist first for her sponsorship and being just really supportive as a board member as well. Thank you so much. But also a thanks to Jessica Trowell and Elle Stevens for sharing your experiences as well. Tonight, we're going to be using something called ranked choice voting, something which may sound familiar to many of you out there. It's been a hot topic lately. It's a systemic change that many people across the political spectrum are willing to get behind. I encourage you to look into it a little bit more. And if you're in New York, you'll know that it's been engaged there more recently as well. It's a system in which you put your candidates, rank them in your favorite order. Very simple. In any case, we're proud to use that tonight. And I'm remembering how Susanna and I first heard about it through our friends over at Represent Women, who advocate for ranked choice voting as well. Thank you, Cynthia Terrell, for your work there on ranked choice voting. I hope all of you will look into that a little bit more. Again, we're using it tonight. And a reminder, if you haven't got your votes in, please do so in the next 30 seconds. We're going to be announcing tonight's winner soon.
Good evening. My name is Tasha Cole, and I'm Democratic co-chair of Running Start. Thank you for being with us virtually tonight. I know we wish we could be in person, but so excited that you would make the time to join us. Tonight, we are celebrating a year of perseverance, of endurance, of empathy. We've uncovered so much about ourselves, and our young women tonight are uncovering more and more about themselves. They're starting on their journey. I want to thank our board for their leadership and their guidance, and our influencers, who are examples of the continued journey of uncovering about yourself and showing up as your true self in leadership. Enjoy the evening.
Thank you so much, Tasha. In addition to our influencers and board of directors, we would like to sincerely thank our corporate sponsors and our individual host committees donors who have made tonight very possible. We also want to thank all of you. And it's not too late to donate. Use the information below if you want to help us train more young women.
So we're excited to announce the winner of tonight's alumni competition. This winner is going to serve as Running Start's ambassador for the next year. And they're also going to promote the phrase, the hashtag, I look like a politician. It's an idea that young women who want to make a change are qualified to run, win, and lead as their authentic, uncovered selves. So I'm waiting for the announcement. Who's our winner tonight? Ooh. Bear with me. We're waiting on just who it is.
Drum rolling for you. Just the intensity going up.
I know, it's getting intense.
Don't you love it?
Our winner tonight is, I am proud to announce, Tarina Ahuja. Let's get over to the green room to hear from a Tarina. Hey there, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited and grateful to all of you.
We are so proud of you. What's this year look like for you? You're going to be the ambassador this whole year. I look like a politician, hashtag. It's going to be on all your posts.
Yes.
I'm going to see them on all your stories, that hashtag. I love it.
Truly, absolutely. And I know that I couldn't have done any of it without Susanna, Jess, Carly, you, literally everybody at Running Start and all of my family and friends. And just special shout out to my mom, dad, sisters, and friends who are here tonight and who have truly made me the person I am. And, you know, in the Sikh community, we call our community Sangat. And I truly see all of you all as Sangat. So Gianna, Imani, Mia, like, thank you guys for inspiring me on the daily. Y'all are such beautiful people. And I'm just more grateful and humble than I can ever express. So thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Congratulations again, Tarina. We know you're going to be an incredible ambassador for Running Start's work this year. All the best.
Congratulations again, Tarina. I'm so excited. It feels like I won. I have 3 little sisters, so whenever someone whom I love, a woman, wins something, it feels like I won something personally. So this is a win for all of us. You know, we have enjoyed hearing from our alums tonight and getting to know the audience a little bit in the chat and on social media. Thank you for your support. For Running Start, now to CEO, founder, sage, life coach, incredible woman, all things of all things. My fave, your fave, our fave, the fave. The hype is up. I know, I'm extra, but I'm being myself, uncovered. The theme, y'all. Susanna!
Okay, so do you think we're going to invite Will Start back every year? And so, first of all, everybody join me in thanking our MCs. I mean, that was really, it was hard work, but you guys did such a good job. Rena, thank you so much. Will Start, thank you so much. Thank you all so much for coming tonight and sharing in the joy of Running Start and all that we've accomplished, especially during 2020. Listen, thank you for all of your help. And I need to just call out again, I know that Walmart has gotten a lot of love tonight, but Walmart has been our founding sponsor since 2007. I mean, they have stood by us through everything. So I need to just call them out again and say thank you so much for supporting Running Start and making so much possible. And then we have so many sponsors tonight. We've raised more money than we've ever had before. So thank you to everybody, and in particular to our biggest sponsors, Duke Energy, the Embassy of the United Arab Emirates, and to Facebook. And to all of you all, whether you write us big checks or small checks, you know, whether you're an influencer or a board member or a host committee member or a mentor, thank you so much for helping make everything we do possible. We are already looking forward to hosting you all in person again next year. So here's to next year, and thank you so much for being here with us this year. Thank you.